Hello and welcome to the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. I'm your host, Jen, a middle-aged Michigan mama, wife, and teacher who in 2021 stumbled upon this crazy cool thing called intermittent fasting. And before I knew it, I'd lost 46 pounds in 4 months and gained an incredible lifestyle filled with complete food freedom. If you're hungry for unique, no-nonsense fasting tips that actually work, you're in the right place. So whether you're walking the dog, folding that last load of laundry, or cruising to your 9 to 5, let's start fasting our way to freedom together.
Welcome, fabulous fasting friends. I am so excited about today's episode. We'll be chatting with and learning from Cherie Calbom. And let me tell you, she has a very impressive resume. Cherie is the CEO of Trinity Wellness Institute and celebrity nutritionist known to the world as the Juice Lady. She has devoted her career to empowering people through better whole food choices and understanding the essentials that truly transform health, including proteins and, just as crucially, the right fats and oils. Cherie served as George Foreman's nutritionist and the spokesperson for the George Foreman Grill. And she saw firsthand how simple dietary changes can create powerful results. Her book, The Coconut Diet, sparked the movement to reintroduce coconut oil in America. And being an expert in fats and oils, she now helps people navigate what supports metabolic health. She is the author of 36 books. Is that right, Cherie?
That's right, yes.
With over, listen to this, everybody, 3.5 million sold. And she's here with us today to share fresh, science-backed strategies for energy, healthy weight, and how to get more joy out of fasting. So welcome, Cherie.
Thank you. It's great to be on your show. We're going to weave a lot together, aren't we?
I'm so excited.
Yeah.
So, Cherie, let's first start with your experience with fasting. You mentioned that you did a 5-day juice fast that changed your life. Can you tell us more about that?
I would love to. That's what started me on my journey and why I ended up where I am today. In my 20s, I was very ill. I had chronic fatigue syndrome and fibromyalgia, and nobody knew what to do. I was so sick, I had to quit work, move home, sleep 12 hours, get up tired, have a low-grade fever all the time. That's chronic fatigue, and ache all over, fibromyalgia. And no one could help me. And doctors just kept saying it was probably all in my head. And I knew it was not. I had a desire to live and do all these things, and I had dreams, and I wanted to be well. So I thought, okay, I'm going to have to take control myself here and find a way to heal. And I went to some health food stores, talked to people, and discovered my diet was really awful. I loved junk food and fast food. I was a sugaraholic. I hated vegetables. I was on the train to bad health for sure. So I thought, okay, I'm just going to change everything. I have no hope, but here's some tools from my toolbox. I'm going to go for it. Got my first juicer. Did a 5-day vegetable juice fast. On the 5th day, my body expelled a tumor the size of a golf ball with blue blood vessels attached. They were about the color of my shirt. And it looked like somebody cut them. And somebody had. I call it God scissors or nature scissors. We know it now to be the phytonutrients that cut off angiogenesis, which is the supply of blood vessels to the tumors to feed them. And that's the gravy train for your tumor.
Sure.
And these phytonutrients like apigenin, luteolin, visitin, cut that off. Well, I saw it with my own 2 eyes. Boy, these had been cut off. And so I thought, okay, I'm going to be well tomorrow. I got rid of this thing. I figured I was following in my mother's footsteps, who died of cancer breast cancer when I was 6 years old. And I thought I got rid of this thing. It looked like I was following after her footsteps, and I'm going to be well tomorrow. But I wasn't. My body was on a journey of healing, detoxing, cleansing, renewing, rejuvenating. And so it feels like in that space, a couple steps forward, maybe a step back, some detox symptoms along the way. But one day on my journey of not just juicing, after 5 days, I added in food, plant-based food. And I did lots of vegetables that I had never liked before, but and some ancient grains and legumes, and tried some things I'd never eaten. But one morning I woke up and thought, wow, somebody gave me a new body last night. I felt fabulous. See,
and this was right after the 5 days of juicing.
No, 3 months. 5 days of juicing led me into 3 months of diet changes and my own design plan, which is what I share with people now. And it worked. It really, really worked. And I was well and healthy. And I decided I'd go back to Southern California and to my friends and my old way of life because I considered myself cured. And that's when I discovered trying to go out with them and their pizza and their burgers and fries. And I couldn't do this. My symptoms started coming back. And that's when it dawned on me, this needs to be a way of life. I need to teach this. I went back to school and got a master's degree in whole foods nutrition. And I've been teaching ever since. And the power of what food, the right food and the right diet. And of course, the mind and the spirit is involved too. I'm very holistic. My husband is a psychotherapist and a priest, so we bring it all together.
Oh, wonderful.
But it all works together. But diet is a huge part of that. And what we put in our mouth either propels us, moves us toward better health or a decline in our health.
Yes, and I see when we do fasting, what we put in our mouth, specifically what we break our fast with, what we eat during our eating window, that really plays a role in the success that you have.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, and I'm so glad you added breaking a fast, because when you do something strict like a juice fast, you have to be very careful in how you break that fast, or you can really do some harm to your body. So, I mean, if you went out and ate a big steak and fries after that, it was like, whoa, your whole digestive system would be in shock.
Absolutely.
So you have to ease into it with salads and soups and smoothies and things like that are easy to digest, blended
and gut
soups.
friendly.
Yeah, very gut friendly, and gently warmed and blended soups are a really nice way to ease into that too, that are not dairy based, but vegetable based.
Absolutely.
So you're on an intermittent fast journey. I was on my cleanse journey, but it all is good and it does amazing things.
So when did this juicing and further education start? Like, how far back was that?
My 20s.
Said you were late 20s?
Yes.
Okay.
I was in my 20s.
Okay.
Yes, and then went back to school and got my master's. And before I'd even graduated, the Juice Man Company came to my university, and we're looking for a couple of graduate students to write the little juice booklet that went in the juicer. And my head of department asked me if I was interested. Absolutely, you're a student, you'll take anything. $10 an hour, great. Sign me up. And I discovered they were doing seminars around the country, free ones. And this person was here and the juice man was there and blah, blah, blah. And I thought, okay, I'm going to apply for that because I have a degree, an undergrad degree in speech communications. And I have a story to tell that I just told you. And they said, okay, we'll give you a chance. And they brought me on right away and made me their juice lady. So I did the seminars on the weekends and went to school during the week. It was wonderful. And the name Juice Lady is stuck. That's why I'm still known as that.
That was one of my questions. I was very curious. So let's switch gears a little bit and talk about your latest book that looks like it's doing really well. The Truth About Seed Oils. And this is where you're revealing how industrial seed oils marketed for decades as healthy have quietly contributed to inflammation, metabolic dysfunction, depression, anxiety, all of that, fatigue, all that yucky stuff. So for those new to the topic, what exactly are seed oils, and do they differ from what most people call, say, vegetable oils?
They're one and the same, and vegetable oils was the name given in the beginning because it was a great marketing tool. Who doesn't want more vegetables in your diet? And it sounds wholesome and whole, and so out rolled these golden oils that looked clean and looked good and had no flavor or smell, so seemed fine and very shelf stable. Well, it was anything but heart healthy, anything but healthy. The inception, the creation of these oils had nothing to do with health. So I'm going to give you just a little bit of history, kind of the dark history of seed oils. And it was the turn of the century before last when cotton was a big crop and everything was flourishing. Cotton seeds were mounding up and rotting and smelling, and they were saying, what do we do with all these seeds? And somebody decided, let's make oil out of them. The first oil produced was dark and smelly, and they used it to lubricate machinery. How would you like to eat every day, which most people do, or machinery oil? That's what it was, machinery oil. It was made from seeds. It was made in the beginning from cotton seeds. But then the crops kept flourishing and more seeds were coming, and they said, we got to do something more. And they decided to refine the oil even more and make it a nice color, golden and no smell, and roll it out to the American cook as the modern oil, healthy, shelf stable. You don't have to refrigerate it. And what did it go through? What was the process to get it there? That's where we are in trouble. It created a lot of toxicity. So they took the seeds, big drums, big vats, heated them to high temperature, like 500 degrees, to start getting to be able to crush those seeds and get the oil out. And then they added hexane, which is a very toxic chemical, to get the rest of the oil out. And then degummers and neutralizers and deodorizers. These are all chemicals and bleaching agents. And finally, we roll out a golden oil. And we're told, this is going to be great for you. You can cook all of your dishes. Manufacturers will use this in all your snack foods, and restaurants will use it to cook everything for you. And it is heart healthy, they said. Wow. Is that a misnomer or misinformation? We are uncovering so many things right now that are misinformation, and this is certainly one, because now we know all that processing, all that toxicity creates oxidative stress in your body and inflammation. And we know now that inflammation is at the root of every condition. Anything you would name: heart disease, cancer, metabolic issues, diabetes, skin issues, acne, eczema, psoriasis. How about Alzheimer's and dementia? All linked. Scientific studies on each of these things I just named. The list goes on and on. Obesity, fatigue, and even emotional issues like depression, anxiety, and aggression.
Wow. Oh, yeah, I know. That's a lot, but it makes sense. And even you saying, just calling it vegetable oil, you're right. So many people are duped in the food industry world, and just by a simple name. But so let's get specific for our listeners. Which seed oils do you believe consumers should be most cautious about, and why? And of course, are there any that are genuinely beneficial? What do you recommend?
We have both. And in my book, I have lists and charts of everything. I'm going to go over that for you now. So the oils you want to avoid, right up there at the top: canola, which is rapeseed. It's a big GMO crop. Soy is right up there, another big GMO crop. And corn, another one. So those are the three very worst of all of them. And we were told for years, canola oil is the most healthy oil. And restaurants proudly displayed on their menu, we cook only with canola oil. Oh my goodness. It's a double whammy coming at you with a GMO and all that toxicity. Then below that would be safflower, sunflower, grapeseed oil. We were told also for decades, Grapeseed oil is so healthy. I was even teaching that for a while. It's like, Lord have mercy. And then rice bran oil, peanut oil, cottonseed oil. Those are the ones.
Those are in the middle?
Those are all no good. But the worst ones were the top 3, the GMO ones. Okay. But they're all no good. But here's the good ones, because everybody wants to know, what can I have? Oh my goodness, what can I cook with? Well, olive oil never went out of style. It's ancient, and thousands of years people have used it. And it's still processed in the press kind of processing. You want the first press, which is extra virgin olive oil, cold press. And that is the best. And then avocado oil is a good one. It's also a fruit oil, and it's a pressed oil. And then coconut is your other fruit oil, and it's prepared in the traditional old-fashioned way. So you're not going to have all these chemicals, this high heat, this craziness, creating toxicity. Also, ghee.
Oh, good. I was going to ask about that.
Some people call it oil of butter. Yes, it's a good one.
Just as good? Okay.
Yes, just as good. You can use that. And then sesame seed oil, because people don't use very much of it. It comes in smaller bottles. They haven't adulterated it because it's usually expeller pressed. So you can have a little sesame oil as well. There are 2 nut oils, but you don't see them as much, and they're more expensive. Almond oil and macadamia nut oil are fine. I get asked that. Then there are the cold oils that you never cook with, ever. But they're fabulous for you. Like flaxseed oil is really rich in omega-3 fatty acids. Hemp seed oil is another good one. Walnut oil, never ever cook with that one. But cold, drizzled on salad, poured in a little bit in your smoothie, take a teaspoon before bed at night. All great for you. And then black seed oil, not the one rich in omega-3s, but omega-6s, it is great for the lungs, the brain. It does so much for energy. So those.
Did you say black seed?
BLACK, black seed oil.
Wow.
Lots of people have had very good results by taking black seed oil as well, like maybe even a teaspoon to a tablespoon at night before bed.
Oh, wow. So I'm assuming I did get your book, but I must admit I'm not all the way through it. Do you give certain ways to use all of the different oils? I imagine.
We do. So we have all sorts of charts. We have smoke point, and that's really important. You don't want your oil start smoking because you're going to denature your good oil with that heat. And then we have the description of the oils, the flavors, what dishes they work best with, and then we've got. Love that. Yeah, that was a fun one. I worked on that, so cool. And looking up all of that, I learned a lot of which oils to choose for which dishes and bring better flavor, bring things out in your recipe. And then we have over 50 recipes incorporating the good fats and oils. Awesome. Yeah, really fun recipes. And I'm finding that more and more people, as they want to make changes, are needing recipes because many people have not grown up assembling food, making food. It's been fast food or rip open a bag or pop a box of something in the microwave or a skillet dinner with a box helper kind of thing. But people have not just gone to make food a lot in their kitchen from scratch. We do barbecues and things like that, but we often get even salads to go to put on the side. So it's a new day in America where a lot of people are saying, especially the younger people, Gen Zs, I'm finding out, are very interested in the whole seed oil thing and how do I get it out of my diet and putting food together. And so there's a real interest now in recipes and ideas for, how to do a fast meal, but make it healthy.
I love that. Yeah. And for our listeners, those who have been, used to the vegetable oil and the canola oil, and sounds like your book would give them very step-by-step a plan to help get them out of their diet.
I've got a plan, that's for sure. I call it the oil change in the body. We change the oil in our car. We want to change the oil in our body because here's why. Your cell outer membrane is fat. if you have inferior fat, which these oils are extremely inferior fat, and mostly, and you don't have too much of the other good fats, the body is going to use what it's got. So it's going to insert the faulty fats when it's needing it, and your health is going to start breaking down. How about your brain? It's 60% fat. 30% of that is cholesterol. Oh my goodness. And we were told no cholesterol and don't eat cholesterol. And our body's going to make it anyway. It's going to do it no matter what. But, all of this has been faulty information.
Absolutely.
Creating faulty cells and faulty mind, faulty thinking, faulty emotions. I mean, I just named a whole bunch of them with studies proving that these oils are linked to all these different conditions.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh, I'm loving this, Cherie. I'm learning so much. So let's say someone has consumed these terrible seed oils for years. Is it possible to repair the damage, and how long does that take?
It is definitely possible. I'm going to tell you a couple of stories in a minute.
Okay, that'd be great.
But these oils have a half-life of 600 days. Which means we've got about, a couple of years, just shy of a couple of years. Okay. So is that hopeless for 2 years? No, because your cells are always turning over and things are always changing. So as the cells turn over and as there's a need for good fat, you're going to have it because you now know the truth. And you know to buy coconut oil or olive oil or avocado oil and buy snack foods using those. And you can find them now. Be a good label reader. Your body's going to use what it's got that's good. Do you know that the fat around your heart is saturated and the body draws on it in times of stress? C16 and C18 mostly surround the heart. What if you don't have the right fats to replenish that? Oh my goodness. So often we hear stories of, my friend's husband, he was in his 40s and he was out jogging and he had a heart attack and just fell over. And what happened? He was into health and he was on a low-fat diet. And my brain always went, maybe. See, I can't prove it. I don't know. But this is something to consider. And we do know that these good fats are fabulous for us and they are heart healthy. And so that is what we want in our diets. But let me tell you a couple of stories. Can you notice things quickly? Yes. I have one young woman who told me her story. She had migraine headaches and she suffered from those for quite a while. No one could help her. No one could figure out what to do. She decided to go as much seed oil free as she could. And lo and behold, those migraines went away and never came back. Wow. So there is a pretty fast recovery.
Absolutely.
And then the other story is of a lady that went to early on one of our wellness retreats. We do raw food and juice and wellness. And she had cardiovascular disease and really was hoping for some help and a turnaround. So our retreat was 5 days and no seed oils, of course. Lots of raw food, plant-based and juicing, and a day and a half of juice fasting. She went back home feeling better, thought she'd go back to her cardiologist. And he said, "What in the world did you do? You are my new model patient." She was in a major turnaround. She contacted me recently. She's 83 now, no heart disease, and so cute. I thought, wow, there is great hope.
I love that.
5 days, 5 days. So anybody listening, if you've got pain, you've got swelling, you've got fatigue, you don't sleep well, you have headaches, you've got inflammation causing whatever from diabetes, cancer, heart disease, metabolic issues, hormone disruptive issues, whatever, because these oils are hormone disruptors. There is great hope. As you begin to bring this inflammation down in your body, you are going to notice a difference. Because when you start putting out a smoldering fire, that's what that inflammation is like. And to me, it's like a smoldering fire. You're going to notice some things start improving.
Oh, that's exciting. Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So let's shift gears a little bit and let's talk about your book from quite a few years back, the coconut diet. And I myself, my listeners know, I use coconut oil all the time. Many of my intermittent fasting weight loss recipes. So tell me more about coconut oil and how we can use it to better our health. And I like it because it makes us feel full. So a lot of times I incorporate it into whatever I eat to end my intermittent fasting eating window with, whether it's I throw in a smoothie or whatever that be, but it helps me to fast longer and feel more comfortable as I am having that healthy fat. So tell us a little bit more about coconut oil.
I love coconut oil. I do the same. I cook with it mostly. And then olive oil. Those are my two go-tos.
Your main two.
Yes. Coconut oil is dominant in medium chain triglycerides. People often know them as MCTs. The liver likes to burn MCTs. And that means it's facilitating weight loss. It helps you lose weight. It's known as a slimming oil. It's the only one I know of that's really called a slimming oil. So I encourage it for those reasons. When my book came out, The Coconut Diet, Vogue magazine picked it up and a number of other major publications, and it just took off like a little rocket. So I had groups I was running. People were getting as much or as close to 3 tablespoons of coconut oil a day in their diet, and they were losing weight. It was like all these stories, so encouraging. I figured out one little treat that would end your day with frozen coconut oil. So you know those little dishes, they're about this size, and people use them for soy sauce or tamari or,
Yes.
I mean,
like ramekin.
Yeah, little ramekins.
I forgot what it's called. Yeah.
And kind of more shallow than a ramekin.
Sure.
And I started filling those with a mixture of coconut oil, a few drops of stevia, some seeds or nuts that were chopped up, and stir it all up and freeze it. And it was like a little treat.
It's a fat bomb.
Yeah. So
nutritional.
For people that were trying to get a little more coconut oil in their diet. But here's why I think everybody can benefit from ending your day with some kind of fat in your diet that's good for you. Fat adds satiety, meaning that feeling of fullness and satisfaction. So many people that have been on the low-fat, no-fat diet just never had satisfaction. So many people would say to me, I've had dinner, just finished dinner, it's an hour later, and it's like I want something else, and I'm not satisfied, and I'm wandering through the kitchen, and what is it? And no, your body is not needing a bowl of ice cream, but maybe that's what you had or a cookie, but that satisfaction isn't there. So we need the oils for satiety. That is extremely important. The crazy eras we've been through of the no-fat, low-fat has produced disaster. It was supposed to make people slimmer. Obesity and overweight is now 70% of our nation. So people got heavier, they got sicker, heart disease got worse, it's still the #1 killer. And for all of this great hype, advertisements, and teaching, we have gotten much, much worse, not better.
Yeah. I have a blog post and a couple videos on the top 10 intermittent fasting products that really have helped me lose weight 5.5 years ago and maintain my weight loss. Coconut oil is definitely on there. Yes. What I get though is people say, how can you say that? How can you lose weight? Because it's so calorie dense. It's lots of fat, but I try to explain what you just did. Thank you very much. It's healthy fat.
Yes.
And it is really helping to stoke your metabolism. So I know when I started intermittent fasting, I actually just put my focus on eating healthy, whole foods. And I completely stopped counting calories like I did when I was in my late 20s, 30s, early 40s. I was obsessed with calories. And then once I realized that I didn't have to do that if I focused on vegetables, whole foods, healthy fats, it was really freeing, actually. And you're right about the satisfaction that coconut oil gives you. And it allows me, like I said, to fast way more comfortably further into the next day and not even think about, oh, I'm struggling, I'm hungry. It just doesn't happen.
Right. It's so freeing. It's so freeing to be in that space. You know, about 30% of our diet should be fats, good fats, healthy fats. And it should be divided up between omega-3s and omega-6s. I want to go into omega-6 and 3 imbalances for a moment, and this is the other cause of inflammation. We are getting so much polyunsaturated fatty acid, which are the seed oils. What they're dominant in is linoleic acid. The other side of the coin and the argument is, oh, we need linoleic acid. It's very important. We need omega-6 fatty acids. That is true. We do, but not in the ratio we're getting them. Absolutely. We're getting them in about a 20-1. It's like a huge imbalance. It should be about a 4-1 omega-6 to omega-3, not this huge imbalance. That is creating a lot of inflammation also. So it isn't just that the oils are toxic and creating inflammation. We're getting way too much of them, and that is also creating inflammation. So what do we need to do? Wise shoppers, we've got to either shop with your phone, take a picture and blow up the ingredients so you can see what's in there. Or I have a little magnifying glass with a light, whatever you want to do, but you've got to read labels. And if it's got vegetable oil in there or one of the seed oils that I just named, just don't buy it.
Don't even bother.
Yeah, don't even go for it. Keep looking, you'll find stuff without it, and bring that back into balance. But I want to go over the omega-3s because most people are very short on getting enough omega-3s in their diet. And so there's quite an imbalance. And omega-3s are really important for brain health, for heart health, skin health, goes on and on throughout the whole body. So again, flaxseed oil is really good. Hemp seed oil is another good one. And walnut oil and walnuts and walnut milk, all of that in different forms would give you omega-3 fatty acids along with cold water fatty fish. And of course, get wild caught like salmon or trout or sardines. Those are all going to be your good fish for getting more omega-3s. And then, of course, some people take fish oil as well. It's very important to get some of this to be a concentrated effort to get some of these oils in your diet. So at night before bed, I take a tablespoon of flaxseed oil. Always keep it in the refrigerator. Always keep it cold. Never heat it. It's very, very, very fragile. It is going to denature quickly and easily. And that is going to help you. When it starts showing up with your hair, your skin, your nails, then you know, boy, you are on track to feeding your internal body, because it doesn't show up externally until your internal body has what it needs for its work. And then it's going to start showing up externally. And you'll notice your hair feels more silky, your skin glows and feels softer. Your brain starts functioning better because we need omega-3s for the brain. So if you're in a place where you're forgetting stuff, or you're looking for your keys everywhere and you're holding them in your left hand, it's like, what? It's time to up your omega-3s. If your joints hurt, if you feel achy all over, you might be needing some omega-3s. Or minerals. All of that work together. But, those are very common problems. A lot of people today report brain fog, fatigue, aches and pains, and poor sleep. Those are maybe 4 of the most common things I hear. And getting the bad oils out, getting the good oils in, getting more omega-3s, bringing balance to your body, cutting down on inflammation, you should see an improvement in all of that.
Pretty quickly, probably, too.
Yes.
So where do you purchase all of your oils?
Fortunately, at Costco, they now have All of them, even beef tallow. For those that are not vegan,
Okay.
they've even got beef tallow. And, beef tallow has been in the news with Steak and Shake switching out their cooking oil, frying oil to beef tallow, which is much more durable and stable. But they've got that. They've got the coconut oil, olive
They've
oil,
got
avocado.
the walnut too, or
No, I've not seen walnut
Okay.
there. So you'll have to go to a health food store or a
Health food.
health-minded section of a store, whatever, to get walnut oil
Okay.
or flaxseed oil. I have not seen those there. But I've seen encouraging signs of new products that I can buy. There's avocado oil, mayonnaise. I've seen olive oil, popcorn, organic with sea salt. I've seen organic chips with avocado oil.
Yeah, my
crackers.
husband is buying those weekly. We love Costco.
We do too. And they are catching the message. Here's the encouraging part. We're part of a groundswell. You and I today, and everyone listening. This is how we're going to change America. Voting with our wallets. Because when they get the message, meaning the food manufacturers, that this is what the American people want, they're going to step up to the plate and give us what we're asking for. We're asking for a healthier choice across the board. But so many things are not yet. So many foods that are pre-made and put together still have seed oils. So many of the salad dressings, even the healthy organic ones, it's seed oils. Even Newman's Own, the olive oil ones, got some seed oil in there too. So we've got quite a ways to go. But the fact that people are waking up and that we're finding more and more snack foods, crackers and dressings and popcorn and chips, that to me is extremely encouraging, that we have choices out there with good oils.
Yeah, that is good. And I am glad. I've noticed a lot of really great healthy products being added to Costco shelves. So I have an interesting question for you, being a Christian woman myself. So you frame the marketing of highly processed, nutrient poor foods as not just a health issue, but a moral and even a spiritual one. So what exactly do you mean by that?
So I started thinking about this when RFK Jr. said at one point, this is a spiritual issue that we're looking at. All of this fast food, denatured food, things spun out of factories. What is this all about? And I started thinking about it and I thought, yes, it is definitely a spiritual issue. So looking back in time, our ancestors honored food. They prayed over it. They said a grace. They prayed over the food. They saw it as a blessing from God, and how it was grown was seen as a blessing from God. The earth, the rain, the sun, the nutrients, the minerals that the plants absorbed, and it was considered sacred in many cultures. The whole process of growing food and creating beautiful, delicious, nutritious food for your family. We have come so far. People are ripping open bags. They're eating on the run. They're eating in the car because you see them all the time as you're out driving.
Yeah, I know.
They're picking up little bags from a fast food place and going home. They're ordering in, ordering out. They're getting microwave box stuff to plop in. Where is the sacredness of food? Where is the whole food, the wholeness of food?
Yeah.
Food, God gave us whole food. It came from God, and we have wrecked it. And so much of what people eat doesn't even resemble whole food. It's chemicals. It's a lot of chemicals made to taste good. And people have lost their way and their sense even of taste and smell. A lot of people tell me they only taste sugar and salt now because their taste buds are so ruined from all of the junk food that they've been eating.
Not to mention the diabetes epidemic and all of the chronic disease. Yeah,
Right.
Absolutely. So what about hot topic cholesterol? How does that kind of reshape our understanding about heart disease? So what really would you say is the real cause of heart disease?
I'm going to go first with your question, the real cause, and then I want to go back in time and
Let's
where
do it.
we got this crazy lipid hypothesis in the first place.
Yeah.
But wait, what was your last question again? I was thinking back
just
on that.
The real cause.
The real
of
cause.
heart disease. Yeah.
Inflammation. It is inflammation.
Yeah.
And I've been talking a lot about inflammation coming at us from several sides with these seed oils. Inflammation is at the root cause of what's happening in arteries. So cardiologists have gone into arteries and reported on what they've seen. Yeah, there's plaque there, but it's what's underneath the plaque that is causing the plaque to form in the first place. One cardiologist that I quote in our book said if we didn't have that irritation from inflammation, inflammatory foods, cholesterol would move freely right on through that artery as it was designed and supposed to do, because the body is going to make it no matter how much you try to lower it. It is still going to make it, and it is still going to go through the arteries. But because inflammation is there, because it creates irritation in the arteries, and he said it looks like somebody rubbed those arteries with a bristle brush, and so no wonder plaque is going to form on that, and no wonder we're going to have other problems, inflammation throughout our body that is leading to a host of diseases. But where did all this start, this lipid hypothesis, lipid meaning fat? Way back. So I'm going to go back to the 40s for a moment, because before World War II, coconut oil was considered and advertised as the healthiest oil on earth. And I agree with that, along with olive oil. It was. And then came the war, and the ships couldn't make it through the waters with the coconut oil. So about that time, seed oil was a small market. In the 20s, it just kind of limped along in the 30s as a small market. But then in the 40s, when the coconut oil couldn't make it and people needed something to cook their food in, the seed oil industry stepped up to the plate and said, here we are, and we've got this great oil and new jingles and new ads and new cookbooks, and this is your modern oil, and kind of get with the program and be one of those with it cooks. And right after the war, something else showed up: heart attack, heart disease. All of a sudden, people were like dropping over, and people were scared, and knowing somebody that had dropped over from a heart attack and wanting to know why. And the government got involved, and scientists and doctors and autopsies, and it conveniently for the seed oil industry found plaque with fat and cholesterol in that plaque in the arteries. And so they just took what they found on top and said, that's it. It's fat and cholesterol that caused this, and it's high cholesterol that is causing heart disease. And there were some sane voices on the other side. Big money wasn't behind them, but they were sane voices saying, wait a minute, we've always eaten butter and eggs and cheese and lard and tallow and red meat, and what in the world? Why would it suddenly now cause heart attacks when we've been eating them for centuries? And the common sense voices got pushed away and drowned out because the money was over here. And so nobody listened to them. Ansel Keys was a physicist, kind of the father of the lipid hypothesis, and faulty studies kind of propelled him forward. And the whole saturated fat and cholesterol and heart disease teaching was born at that time. It stuck. It never left. It's still out there going strong. But so many organizations have done studies on cholesterol and heart disease, and they found as many people die with low cholesterol of heart disease as with high. And the concluding part of the study is cholesterol has nothing to do with this. Saturated fat had nothing to do with this. But here's what did have something to do with this: inflammation. So what should the markers be? Instead of getting that cholesterol test all the time, which I'm not against. I mean, it's a measurement for something, but not for heart attack, not for heart disease. It should be measuring inflammation, like histamine, LPA, which stands for lipoprotein A, or CRP, C-reactive protein. Those are your measurements that should be taken. And if we were going to look at LDL, it wouldn't be just regular LDL. It's oxidized LDL that is the dangerous one. that is what should be tested. When they test me, I just get one number. It's one great big number. And mine is never low. It's always over 200, like maybe 210 or 220.
Yeah,
but
mine was 211 2 weeks ago.
There you go. But probably your LDL was high because mine was.
Yep.
So, and that's going into the big number. It's like, give me a break.
Yeah, I know. It's so confusing. Oh my goodness. That was an excellent explanation. So thank you so much. So Cherie, there's growing interest in the connection between diet and cognitive decline. It's a big one. And so what would you say that studies have revealed about seed oils and its connection with conditions like Alzheimer's and things like that, dementia?
Yes. In chapter 2 of our book, we've got the studies listed there. There is a direct connection between seed oils and Alzheimer's and dementia and inflammation in the brain. That's what is causing a lot of the problems. So the oxidative stress in the brain is causing a lot of problems. But here's something very interesting. So we were told to prevent all sorts of things, Alzheimer's and heart disease and whatever. Get those egg yolks out of your diet, right?
Oh, that's right.
Choke down egg whites. Do you know a new study just came out and they found that, and they studied whole eggs, not just egg whites, that those who ate more eggs had less Alzheimer's. That's a brand new study. Isn't that interesting?
I love eggs.
Eggs, I do too, and so eggs are back in. It's like insanity. We have been through decades of insanity. No eggs, choke down egg white. You know what people ended up with? Because undercooked egg whites cause a condition known as egg white injury, meaning that it binds biotin. Goodness, it's insanity where we've been. We're coming back slowly but surely to saneness and real whole food, the way God gave it to us, the way it was intended to be. And I pray that people are going to get on board in droves and start healing their bodies.
I pray for that as well. I just think we need such a big shift. And you are right. It is promising that there are lots of people who are, kind of starting to get it.
Yes.
And like you, spreading the word. Which brings me to, we have already learned so much from you. What is the best way that our listeners can get their hands on your brain, your knowledge, your information, your books?
Come visit me at my website, juiceladyinfo.com. I've got all sorts of free gifts for you, like the anti-inflammatory juice recipes. I've got the 30-day meal plan on the landing page for the truth about seed oils. You can get the Seed Oil Scout app, a free trial on the landing page for the book, The Truth About Seed Oils. And that will give you a little map around where you live with the little green bubbles that show you which restaurants are seed oil free. That's so cool. I know. Isn't that cool?
That is super cool.
A little scanner on there. So you can point your phone at the barcode and it'll tell you if there's seed oils in there and other nasty stuff. So that's another one. So come visit me, sign up for my newsletter. It's free and I give you recipes all the time and lots of tips. And follow me on social media like Instagram, TikTok, or X, or LinkedIn, or wherever. I'm at Juice Lady Cherie, Cherie. So Juice Lady Cherie, Cherie. And especially, well, all of them, we're now posting everywhere. So I've got reels coming out every day, recipes, ideas, tips, information, all sorts of fun stuff there. Come follow me.
Well, and just so the listeners know, I will have the links to your website and to your book and all of those great places they can find you in the show notes. But I'm not letting you go just yet, Cherie, because you need to leave us, please, with your biggest gem. What would you say is your best health advice tip that you can leave our listeners with today?
I'm going to tell another very quick story. I worked with a young woman that had MS, and we got her into no more symptoms. So she was controlling the MS, and she was strict with her diet, and it was paying off, and it was worth it all. And then a relative came by one day and persuaded her to drink this special wine, and she didn't want to and kept saying no, and finally she did, and her symptoms started rolling back after that. And it was like, oh, how scary. And her motto I have kept for since then: nothing on earth tastes as good as good health.
Love it. Yeah, and that's very, very true. Words of wisdom. I really love that, Cherie.
Thank you.
Well, I cannot thank you enough. This has been so fun.
It has been fun. So everybody's got to get my book, The Truth About Seed Oils. And do me a favor, leave a review on Amazon.
Yes, that is very helpful, isn't it?
Yeah, it's very helpful. I would so appreciate it. And it's been a great day to talk with you about intermittent fasting. We have the oils and the seed oils and coconut oil.
And the eating
together.
window with coconut oil.
Yeah.
Oh, that's wonderful. Well, thank you so, so much, Cherie.
Thank you.
Hey, thank you so much for choosing to spend part of your day listening to this episode of the Intermittent Fasting Gems with Jen podcast. If you think these tips could help a friend or a family member, please consider sharing this episode with them. And if you really enjoyed the show, taking a minute or two to leave a positive review would be so appreciated. Tune in for new 15 to 25-minute episodes released on the 10th, 20th, and 30th of each month. Episodes will feature solo shows filled with IF hacks that have worked for me, as well as episodes where I get to chat with fun folks of all ages who've experienced incredible success with intermittent fasting. If you have questions or want more unique intermittent fasting health and weight loss tips, tricks, and recipes, please visit my website and blog at sowhatifwithjen.com. Finally, we'd love to welcome you into our free intermittent fasting Facebook support group, So What If with Jen. Find all of these links in the show notes below. And as always, I hope you spend your day loving without fear and laughing until your cheeks hurt.